What's up, YouTubers? So before we get started with this video, on First Take, they're going to be talking about some comments LeBron James made about Steph Curry being the season MVP. So let's see what they have to say about that.
Do you think LeBron's being sincere there, saying that Steph's MVP, and then keep in mind they're playing each other?
Well, I'm not going to question his sincerity with it. I'm just going to say I think there's some gamesmanship there. And to me, I'm one of those people. Listen, it's no big deal. I ain't losing sleep over it. But I prefer, let me just put it to you this way, because I'm going to be nice this one. I'm going to be nice. Man, I'll save my vitriol for Max Kellerman. I'm not going to aim it in the direction of LeBron James here. But I want a little animosity. I want LeBron knowing that Steph is coming to slay the king. You see what I'm saying?
I completely agree.
And what's up? We ready? I want that. You know, one of the things that guys from the past, and again, I'm relatively old school, and guys from the past, I really, really appreciated it. You don't have to go to the extreme of Pat Riley where he didn't want guys being friends at all off the court and stuff like that. But I
wouldn't have a problem with that either.
I also don't want you on the court singing Kumbaya to one another, hugging one another. You know, like, I don't need all that. I mean, we about to go at it. You see what I'm saying? And the intrigue that comes with just a touch of animus before you encounter one another is appealing to the viewer. And that is something that LeBron James almost has never, ever given you. He's such a likable guy, you know, and you see stars around him, and you know, he loves on them, they love on him. He's a lot of fun, they joke around and stuff like that. I remember years ago when him and D-Wade were going up against each other after they left, or after he had left Miami and stuff like that. They hugged each other so damn much on the court, everybody was like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, they're best friends off the court. So, of course, they're going to be hugging each other. I don't think LeBron James and Steph Curry are as friendly as him and Dwayne Wade off the court. And definitely, LeBron James is probably feeling some kind of way after Steph Curry won multiple rings off of him.
What I'm saying is that I know they're going to go at each other.
Yeah.
But from a fan's perspective, you want to sense a little bit of animus just on a basketball court. You want to sense like, I'm a bust your living, you know what, here I come. You want
Exactly.
to see it, you want to know it's coming, you want to feel it. And I'm not saying you don't necessarily feel that here. I'm just saying that it doesn't escape me that he doesn't speak of the competition. And it's had a contagious effect because we don't see too many dudes doing that in today's NBA game. And some of us miss it.
I'm with you.
Yeah, so I definitely miss the good old days where guys were not friendly off the court. It was all about the war. And as far as LeBron James' comments, LeBron James isn't stupid. Whatever he says is generally well thought out. So there could be something behind, a little bit of condescension behind what he said about Steph Curry being the season MVP. But we'll get deeper into that later on in the video.
You, Max?
Well, I mean, is this, like, you're saying you miss the gamesmanship? Yeah, I kind of do too. But I think he's not only being sincere, I don't think LeBron needs to butter anyone up. Like, hey, Steph, I'm saying nice things about you. Take it easy on me, will you? No, I think this is like the Bob Gibson quote, one of the greatest pitchers of all time. He said, the best catch ever is like watching the girls go by. The prettiest one is the last one you saw. That's the best catch ever. Same thing here with LeBron and Steph and MVP, I think. He's seeing a league where, look, James Harden was balling, got hurt. Embiid was balling. LeBron was balling. KD was balling. They all got hurt. Jokic been balling wire to wire. But the Dame, for a lot of the season, it looked like he got tired, right? Or a little hurt. Steph Curry not only had a really good season the whole time, but put the pedal to the metal recently. Last month or so, he's been out of his mind. So the lasting impression that LeBron has about Steph is that. And if you ask him about it, he's going to tell you that's the MVP. I don't think he's sitting down and like really thinking about from beginning to end. Maybe he is, because Steph has played himself, I think, into the number 2 spot behind Jokic. But I can't blame a dude, especially who's about to compete against that guy. Like, what do you have to brace for? And LeBron's thinking, I got to brace for the dude who had the best season in the league this year. Whether I agree with him or not, I get recency bias and how he could really think that, because Steph has been impossibly great, especially over the last, 30 games or so? It's been...
Yeah, and Steph Curry, like I said, won multiple rings off LeBron James. So LeBron James looking at Steph Curry a different kind of way.
It's been ridiculous. I think he's just telling you the truth.
Let me throw something at you, and maybe it's a little bit of the cynic in me, Stephen A. But first we had LeBron come out with the comments, and he said, I'm not 100%. I never know if I'll be 100% again. And now he's saying Steph's MVP. I think he's just setting up the narrative like, hey, when we beat Steph and the Warriors and we take them out real quick, I beat the MVP. Or when I win this chip, I wasn't 100%. And he's just setting us up here, and that's kind of the direction of where he's...
Exactly, Molly, exactly. And that's what I wanted to get at. LeBron James is good to set up excuses for the future, especially if things don't work out. So if he doesn't beat the Golden State Warriors tonight and Steph Curry, he's going to be able to say, well, Steph Curry was the MVP. There's nothing I can do about that. Plus, I'm dealing with injuries, and the Lakers aren't at full capacity at this point in time. So LeBron James is good to set up excuses, and especially if they meet up in the finals, with the Brooklyn Nets, and he loses to Brooklyn, oh, well, I wasn't the best player. Steph Curry was the MVP of the year. We had a lot of injuries. I had injuries, and that's why we lost to Brooklyn Nets. And then he'll come out with a soft cast on his hand like he did in 2018 when he lost to the Golden State Warriors. So LeBron James is good to set up excuses in the future for why things don't work out.
He's going with
I wouldn't accuse him of that. He clarified his position about never being 100% last night when he spoke, or Saturday rather, when he spoke to the media. He said maybe he should have clarified it and people ran with it. Well, damn it, it's because there's a lot of people that don't know the game, didn't know what he meant, and he knew that, and that's who he was speaking to when he said it. So he's the one that left it out there.
Yeah, exactly. He was set enough for in the future if things don't work out, he doesn't win, that he can say, well, I told you guys I wasn't at 100%. That's why we didn't win. It's hard. And plus, Steph Curry is the season MVP. So, there's excuses why I didn't win. So LeBron James, he's not stupid. He knows what to do. He knows how to set things up. So if things don't work out, his excuses are sitting right there. Like, I told you guys I wasn't 100%. I told you guys I was the MVP and Steph Curry was. That's why we didn't win, because I wasn't at 100%. So LeBron James is good to do things like that.
What he was saying is that, you know what, you never feel fresh once you start playing in this game. You're never 100% a game. You might be 99%, but you're never 100. There's always some little tweak or whatever that you could afford to have at your disposal. That's all.
Yeah, but you can say the same thing about all other players. LeBron James isn't the only player that has nicks, cuts, and scrapes and all that. Other players do too, and you don't see them making up excuses.
He meant by that, and I don't think it's one of those situations where he's saying, okay, if I'm not 100% and I still slayed the giant, that is Steph Curry. Believe it or not, even though Steph Curry is lethal, LeBron has bigger fish to fry. The fact is, you're a reigning defending NBA champion. Utah, Phoenix, the Clippers, Denver, they all are there waiting for you with home court advantage. And if you get through them, the Brooklyn Nets with Kyrie, and I say Kyrie instead of KD because even though we know KD would love to be universally recognized as the best in the world and what have you, as opposed to LeBron, KD wasn't LeBron's former teammate. KD wasn't the one that wanted out from playing under LeBron's shadow. That would be Kyrie Irving. And so Kyrie Irving going to the finals against LeBron James, that would be headline material all day, every day.
Yeah, so that would be headline material, LeBron James and Kyrie Irving going head to head. But at this point, you really have to worry about Kyrie Irving. Is he even going to be able to play? Is he going to be able to show up the whole series? Or is he going to take a game or two off because he needs to think about things that are going on off the court? You can't necessarily trust Kyrie Irving. He's a baller and all that. I don't want to take that away from him, but he has to be there and be focused on basketball. Now, Kevin Durant and James Harden, when healthy, those two guys are going to be ballers, and you can count on them being there.
When it comes to those two going at it and putting on a show on the court, if the finals came to that, LeBron actually has bigger fish to fry than Steph. It's just that Steph is so lethal, Steph could interrupt everything by knocking the Lakers off Wednesday night, even though that wouldn't eliminate the Lakers from the possibility of making the postseason.
Max?
I mean, when Stephen A. talks about gamesmanship, Stephen A., you actually told me my favorite sports story of all time, and it was about Michael Jordan. And I'll just give you the cliff notes, everybody, that Jordan used to antagonize opponents before playoff games. And when Stephen A, you told me this story, I was like, yeah, of course, because he wants to throw them off their game. Muhammad Ali used to do the same thing, right? Get him angry, get him off kilter, and you take advantage. Stephen A, you told me, no. Jordan did it because he wanted that dude at his best, so that when he beat him, that dude knew and Jordan knew, I beat your best, which is why he's saying Anita's Baker's giving you the best that I got to him, right? While he was giving him